Every single day that you don't have your financial life in order is costing you your freedom and the life that you should be living.
I did not know that.
But not everyone is even doing the basics, the easiest financial items that could benefit their lives massively. With that said, here are the absolute best things that you can do today to build your financial foundation for the future. Yeah, I think I actually kind of like that. Financial foundation for the future. It's kind of catchy. Okay, anyways, let's jump in. First off, number one, start from where you are. Maybe you've accumulated more debt than you care to admit, and you overspend on things that your mom would consider dumb. As a result, you don't have an emergency fund, you haven't signed up for your employer-sponsored 401k, and your credit cards are completely maxed out, right? If any of these sound like you, then you know it's not the ideal place to be. But that means that your financial condition can benefit from even a few minor tweaks, getting you moving down the path to responsible budgeting and financial freedom through your financial foundation for the future. Okay, I do kind of like that. All right, I do like that. Or maybe you've been pretty smart and you have been frugal and you have a little nest egg even, but you haven't taken the time and invested the work into figuring out how to grow your savings and put the money that you do have to work to better you in the future. You have a retirement account, but you haven't paid attention to what it's invested in, and you feel like you should buy a house, for instance, but it seems like too much work. Or maybe you're somewhere in between those. No matter where you are financially right now, you can take some simple steps to improve your financial life. And like most things, once you start, it usually takes off and continues growing more and more as long as you keep the strategies and discipline in place to allow yourself to win. Next is get rid of the debt, please. It's time. You have got to get this weight off of your back so that you can grow your wealth. Being buried in non-strategic debt will crush your present and your future if you don't get it off the books as soon as possible. If you're the person in the first example, a person with no savings, too much debt, etc., start here. Setting the foundation isn't the fun part, but it is the most necessary. And first off, stop the bleeding. Stop using credit cards unless it's truly 100% a real emergency, and pay the balance down every single month of these credit cards. The balance that you carry on a credit card will take virtually forever to pay off if you only make the minimum payment each month. Triple it, or even more if you can. And whenever you have extra money, put it towards the balance of these credit cards first. Otherwise, most of your payment is just getting eaten up by interest rate charges anyway. You want to do everything that you can to get out of this type of debt, the worst type of debt. And your financial future will be a million times brighter based on this achievement alone. If you want to use a credit card for money management, research and use one that offers good rewards, whether that's for airline miles or hotel stays or free gas, even cash back. But only start these credit card strategies once you have knocked out that previous debt balance completely. Next thing is start an emergency fund. Okay. So why though? Why have an emergency fund? Because simply put, if you don't have a backstop financially, you will get into debt or even worse at the first unexpected situation. Then you're forced to make decisions, you're forced to scramble, and if that's the case, the options that you have are most likely going to be very expensive and may even take years for you to undo. So don't take the huge risk and just plan for the unexpected, which you can be 100% sure is going to happen. Unexpected things happen, count on it. So build that into your financial plan and start with whatever you can. Even if it's $10 a week that you find by making a coffee at home, you can probably save more than $50 weekly by just bringing your lunch to work, for example. And guess what? This will also help with the diet. Putting money into your savings account regularly is the beginning of your emergency fund and the foundation of all the other steps. As I've said many times in the past, the official goal for your emergency fund is 3 to 6 months of expenses ready. That is an old rule and it is a big goal, but it's a great goal. All that said, anything is better than nothing, but if you do accrue savings to cover 6 months of expenses, then honestly, congratulations. And guess what? If you make sure that your savings account is earning a decent interest rate also, then you're actually making money by saving money. Then when you have a small or even a large emergency that you will have to charge on your credit card, you can withdraw what you need from your emergency fund and then replenish it later. That 20% for savings is an essential bucket of money because it includes your emergency fund, your debt reduction fund, and most importantly, my favorite, the investment fund, okay? The breakdown of savings, debt reductions, and investments depends on where you personally are. If you're the person in the example with lots of debt and no savings, you will need to start by deploying that 20% towards those two issues. If you already have an emergency fund and you have minimal debt already, you can direct that 20% towards investment opportunities. And then you get to watch your money grow and snowball and make more money for you. Now, of course, investing money can result in losses as well as gains. That's why I always recommend focusing first on the emergency fund and debt reduction. And from there, I find the best strategy being investing in something consistent that pays cash flow consistently, that's flexible and reliable. Once you have those foundations out of the way, you can focus on something with more benefits like growth and appreciation. Without adding a stream of income of something reliable, then the growth and the riskier investments could tip your financial boat over. And remember, never invest money that you need to pay your rent. So where should you start investing? Well, we touched on it a bit a second ago, but the answer depends on your risk appetite, your tax status, your goals, etc. The bottom line and the most important thing is to just start. As mentioned, an income approach is probably the best place to start as it's typically the most conservative and the most flexible. As you grow your personal income and you continue to have lower expenses that you've just narrowed down and made more efficient, you will continue to have more saved and going towards more things that pay you more income. As that grows, you may run into a situation where you have more taxes that you're paying than you'd prefer. Once you reach a position like that, there are options to help you reduce your tax burden 100% legally and strategically. If you invest in real estate assets, for instance, you may be able to defer or minimize the tax implications significantly. But of course, this depends on a lot, and this could be an entire video on its own that we could go down the rabbit hole on that topic. So the best thing is to check with your tax professional and leave it for them to offer you some good suggestions of what to do in that situation. Your personal financial situation is one of the most important things throughout your entire lifetime. If you want to manage your wealth better and continue to grow it on an ongoing basis, we actually host full multiple-hour live webinars on topics just like this on an ongoing basis. These topics are presented live, meaning you can ask questions in the webinar and get your questions answered right there. Also often with an interactive discussion. We're covering things like the future of the US dollar, AI's impact on the investment world, and how long you can expect high inflation and high rates to last. If you're a smart investor who cares deeply about your wealth and your financial future, hit the link in the description below to see the upcoming webinar schedule that we have through SAVE. And in times like this with crazy inflation, turbulent markets, and difficult investment decisions, stable income investing has never been more important. Hit the video next to me now so that you can learn how you can use this strategy for your portfolio. Today, we're in a world that has been through massive market swings in recent years, including 50% losses in equities at one.